dogs will love it just like mine do. DINOVITE.com.
The Israeli government has reportedly granted rare initial approval to the construction of at least 860 homes for Palestinians in the West Bank.
It's one of the most disputed and volatile territories in the world, where the construction of Jewish settlements is considered illegal by most of the international community. Nevertheless, the Israeli government reportedly plans to authorize around 2,000 new Jewish homes in the occupied West Bank. But in a rare step, it's also expected to approve up to 1,000 Palestinian houses at the same time. The development is widely seen as an attempt by the new Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett to mollify the US President Joe Biden ahead of an expected meeting at the White House in the coming months.
The BBC's Jenny Hill in Jerusalem. Human Rights Watch says that thousands of rockets fired by Hamas during the 11-day war with Israel violated the laws of war and amount to war crimes. News and analysis at townhall.com. A federal judge says Congress should get access to some of former President Trump's financial records.
The judge ordered Trump's accounting firm to turn over some financial records to a House committee, but not all of the documents sought by lawmakers. U.S. District Judge Amit Mehta said documents relating to Trump's hotel in Washington, D.C. should be turned over, but he did not allow House investigators to see disclosure forms Trump submitted to the government that outlined his assets and liabilities. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Get vaccinated or undergo weekly COVID-19 testing. That's the choice that's being given to teachers and school staff members in California. Governor Gavin Newsom says it's a sustainable way to keep the schools open, to keep the children safe. Once again on Wall Street this hour, Dow futures up 37 points, S&P futures ahead 2 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The voice of Griswold, Jewett City and Plainfield. SNSN. The 9 a.m. report on the streaming news and sports network is being brought to you by Charlene's Diner, 37 Main Street, Jewett City. Family owned for almost 40 years. Order what you want, eat what you get. That's Charlene's Diner.
I love working here because of the people, and I get to work with my family every day.
Come to Charlene's Diner for the best breakfast you've ever had.
That was Brittany and Matt from Charlene's Diner on Main Street in Jewett City. There are only a few things that have been able to stand the test of time in Jewett City, and one of them just happens to be Charlene's Diner, who just celebrated their 40th anniversary in business. How do you stay in business that long in a small town like Jewett City? It's a simple recipe, really great food and friendly service. And of course, family. You'll feel like family too, because you'll always be greeted with a smile that makes you feel like you're right at home. Stop by for breakfast or lunch 7 days a week. If you don't have any time, well, that's no problem. Order ahead and your food will be waiting for you when you walk into Charlene's door. You can find Charlene's Diner on Facebook too. Stop in and join the family for breakfast or lunch today.
I'm Charlene. Come to Charlene's Diner and order what you want and eat what you get.
This is a news update from the Streaming News and Sports Programming Network, SNSN. On August 11th at about 8:20 a.m., members of the Plainfield Police Department responded to a reported sound of a gunshot in the area of 1 Center Street. Officers made contact with 18-year-old Joshua Griffin of the residence that was mentioned, as well as a juvenile friend. Both individuals denied knowledge of any firearms, stating they had just been woken up by the police. While speaking with the two individuals, officers observed a bullet shell casing of a 9mm in the driveway of the residence. Both individuals continued to be uncooperative, and the scene was then secured. A search and seizure warrant for the residence was granted by the state of Connecticut Superior Court in Danielson. The search warrant was later executed, resulting in the locating of several narcotics and firearms. The narcotics located within the residence consisted of oxycodone, Xanax, and cannabis-type material in excess of 5 ounces, along with several paraphernalia items and items consistent with the sale of narcotics. The firearms located within the residence included a Davis Industries 380 semi-automatic pistol, a 9mm semi-auto polymer pistol, and an AR-15 style rifle, in addition to a pellet rifle. There were also several high-capacity magazines and ammunitions were located. Joshua Griffin was then placed under arrest and transported to Plainfield Police, later admitting to discharging the firearm. Griffin was then charged with multiple charges, which you can read all of them on SNSN News on Facebook. Griffin was held on a $150,000 bond and is scheduled to be arraigned at Danielson Superior Court. Now, the incident will remain under investigation by Plainfield Police, and the department urges anyone with further information to contact the Special Investigations Unit at 860-564-0804. The Griswold Youth Center is looking for after-school staff ages 15 and up. They need center team members 14 and a half hours per week. It's after school until about 5 p.m. They do offer flexible hours. It's great hours for high school kids or college students trying to gain experience. You can apply right on Griswold Youth and Family Services webpage on Facebook. Troop Montville has been quite busy as of late. They recently released their latest stats for the month of July 2021, where they had 3,132 calls for service, which ended up in 80 criminal arrests, 11 DUIs, and 132 traffic investigations, as well as 710 traffic stops, amongst other stats. You can view these stats on a post on the SNSN News Group on Facebook. The daily rate of COVID-19 infections continues to remain above 3%, with Wednesdays being a reported 3.15%, and an additional 11 people admitted to the hospital as a result here in Connecticut. New London County has been marked as a high transmission area, although the amount of hospitalizations in New London County have been reduced from 13 to 10. Fairfield County continues to have the most people in the hospital, currently with 73, and New Haven County with 71. There are a total of 230 Connecticut residents hospitalized with COVID-19 as of Wednesday. Windham County has listed 3 residents. If you want the latest COVID-19 information via text message, you can subscribe easily by texting COVID-CT to 888-777, or you can always call 211. By now, most people know that the 2 resident state troopers that Jewett City has had have moved on to different positions, and the borough is still being covered by temporary troopers. The troop is in process of accepting applications for the positions, according to Borough Warden Tim Sharkey, and he hopes by the end of the month the troop will start the interviews for potential applicants. There's also a chance that Jewett City will be adding a 3rd resident state trooper in the borough, and SNSN will keep you up to date on the resident state troopers here in the borough of Jewett City.
The 9 a.m. report on SNSN has been brought to you by Charlene's Diner, 37 Main Street, Jewett City. Family owned for almost 40 years. Order what you want. Eat what you get. That's Charlene's Diner.
Here's your local weather forecast on SNSN. Mostly sunny skies today, temps reaching about 94, but with the heat index, it'll make it feel like it's 103 out there today. Tonight, a 30% chance of showers and maybe a thunderstorm with some patchy fog. Temps around 73. And for Friday, patchy fog in the morning, and should clear out, though, for sunny skies, a high near 94. But again, the heat index will be very high, as it may feel as high as 105 degrees.
News and information you need for your day. SNSN.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show here at SNSN. My name is Mike. I'm riding solo today. No Paul. And I do want to go ahead and mention, if you remember Austin, who would come in here. and do the morning show with us. Austin is off to different and greener pastures, so to speak. And we wish Austin all the best in his future endeavors. We're going to miss Austin Smith. We're going to miss him around here, that's for sure. So, great personality. Still does. He's just not here. So the lineup looks like this. Paul Ash will be joining me on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And I'm currently looking for somebody to fill the Tuesday and Thursday spot. Somebody walked in the door. It's Jim Barney. My God. Come on, Jim. I'm all by myself.
You might have been all by yourself.
Yeah.
I just was on a Zoom meeting with Heather Summers.
Oh, really? How did that go?
It went well. There was a little bit of internet difficulty to start off with, and
it is a little choppy this morning. I will say that.
Yeah,
definitely a little choppy. So, anything good come out of it, or anything you can speak to?
It was just there was some questions about the climate, the report on the climate being really a problem. And again, people say follow the science, but some of the scientists lie too. I mean, I don't know if you recall, but a number of years ago there was a lot of false stuff that was put out. I'm not saying that climate isn't changing. Don't please, people don't think I'm take that wrong. And then questions about the fossil fuels. And one of the things I said to Heather is I'd like to see a truly independent study of the electric cars versus the fossil fuel vehicles, starting from the point where you mine the materials out of the ground to the point where you finally dispose of all the toxic materials, which of course the electric cars have all these batteries that got to be dealt with. And I'd like to see what the result of that by somebody that's truly independent and doesn't have an agenda.
So speaking of climate change and whatnot, we are, all right, I'll put it this way. So we flew home on Tuesday. And
you flapped your wings all the way?
I did. Boy, am I tired.
I can believe it.
But we flew home on Tuesday. And the first thing that we heard when we get off the plane was there's going to be a heat warning in effect. And I'm like, yeah, right. We just came from Florida where it was hot every day. I mean, hot and humid every single day.
Yep.
And then we hear it's going to be, a heat index. And I went, what a bunch of wussies. That's what I'm thinking. Except for today. Today's going to be 105.
Is that the index or is that
index?
Okay, yeah, because
it's going to be 95.
Yeah,
but then with the heat index, I mean, is that kind of like the wind chill?
I guess. I guess so. Yeah,
you know what I mean, on the other side of the spectrum. So it's like it's 28 degrees today, but it's going to feel like 12.
Yeah.
So why isn't it just 12?
I don't know.
If that's what it feels like on my skin, then it's 12. I don't care what the temperature is.
Well, you might, because if you're trying to make ice, you might want to know whether it's 40 degrees or 12 degrees, wind chill.
But if it's wind chill makes it feel like it's 12, well, it's still going to freeze.
No, it isn't.
It's not?
No.
Oh, see, now there's the difference. So basically, I guess on the other end of it, the heat index is 95, but it feels like 105. So that's basically you only feel like you're burning in hell.
Yes.
Oh, all right. So that's how that works. So I wasn't sure. So I have Dan who said hello this morning in the room, and I said hello back, and he's gone. He didn't say another word. We get trolls. We get people that stop in. They just like to, it's like they're sitting in the dark. Like
well, maybe they just truly want to say hello, Mike.
Well, they could say hello. We're here.
Okay.
But they don't. Either they and as soon as you mention that that they're there, kind of like sitting next to Pee Wee Herman in a matinee movie at 2:00 on a Saturday in Burbank, they take off. It's like, I'm out of here.
Well, I was talking to somebody about this just within the last couple of days, and they don't like to public speak or anything else. Now, I mean, I know here it's not quite
Yeah.
the same as standing in front of an audience, but you
No.
know, maybe some of them just like to listen in and
I like to watch Boo Boo.
and not actually participate. But it would be certainly nice to get a variety of opinions on different subjects.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the whole idea. So we like to talk about, community issues and things that are happening in our community, their community. And it's hard when you don't get any talk back, because then it's like you don't know what they want to talk about.
Yeah. Well, what was it? Was it yesterday morning I was in, or the day before? No, yesterday
yeah.
morning I was in, and Daryl from Computer Shop, he pushed back against me, and that was fine. I was happy.
Yeah.
I was happy that he did.
Yeah. No. He's always very talkative and good. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, which we appreciate, because we like to have healthy debate. So Dan Peer is there. Good morning, Dan. And Donna. Hello, Donna. And he says good morning to me and you, Jim.
Good morning, Dan. Thank you.
It's Dan and Donna. We have,
Dan and Donna.
Mhm.
Okay.
So we have both of them here so far.
Well, that's nice that they have a cup of coffee and they listen to you.
Oh, they don't listen to me. they're throwing shit at the board. Oh, that son of a! I can't stand that fat SOB.
Well, I'm sure, Mike, I'm a pretty opinionated person, as are you. And, we can
rattle the cage a little bit.
And if we're gonna put it out there, we got to be able to take it.
Yeah. And I'm saying, come on, man, send it. Let's hear it. What's going on? So let me ask you a question. You don't live in the borough yourself, but how do you feel about this? We currently have coverage in the borough of Jewett City with two road troopers.
Yes.
They're replacement troopers for the two that were here.
Yes.
All right. So Matt Ray and Valancourt, they both have moved on to major crime.
Yeah, they got promotions. Yeah.
Right.
One's major crime, I think, and one's canine.
Oh, I thought they both went to major crime.
Well, maybe he's in major crime with a
canine,
canine. Maybe
yeah.
I don't know.
Because neither of them had a canine when they were here.
Correct.
So they left. They're gone,
Mhm.
and I talked to Warden Tim Sharkey yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't think they've even started with the application process yet,
From what I understand,
or the interviews. I should say.
That may be. From what I understand, there are a number of people who have put in for a transfer here, including one of the fellows that's here, Dave. I can't remember his last name. I had a couple of discussions with him. He's very, very personable. I think he would be a great addition to the borough here as a resident trooper.
Yeah,
just my personal opinion.
Now, I liked Matt.
Oh yeah,
he was a nice kid.
Yeah.
Valancourt was. Both were very young troopers. I think one of the things that I wish they would have done a little bit better was have more of a social presence.
Well, it's funny you make that comment, Mike, because I think that Dave, he has that. I was just walking and he said hello to me. He was talking to somebody else and he interrupted his conversation and said hello to me, and that was my first contact with him. Okay, I think it would be good if the resident troopers actually spent more time right downtown, walking the street and meeting people and talking to them, and especially the kids, the young kids.
Right.
And I can't project, but I think that maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll move in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even just the social interaction as far as the physical interaction, but even the social media interaction as well. I know the resident state troopers around our area are pretty active on social media, as far as giving tidbits of what's going on. And they can only do so much.
Yeah,
but I think when you do a little bit, it gives the public the idea, or at least the security that they are there.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't do Facebook at all. That's why I sit in the back seat there where you can't shine the camera on me most of the time. If I was a trooper, I would probably be very, very leery of that. Putting out information, I think that's fabulous. Okay, but I'm concerned about the potential. You got a lot of cranks. Okay, and I'm concerned about some of the comments that might come back to the troopers for something they might say, and
it's no different than people will say at a breakfast joint.
Yeah, I know.
It's not any different. And they could put out a post, and they could totally disable comments.
Well, and maybe that's what they should do. Although, I mean, there again, if there was people with good positive comments, I'd like to see those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
But I don't need to read all the trash.
But they're going to be there.
I know.
It's not just social media. It's anywhere. It's anywhere. You're going to hear it. You're going to hear it at the local breakfast nook. You're going to see it on social media. It's just the way that it is. But like for example, when Russ Cody was here for a hot cup of coffee, Trooper Cody, he was on social media and posted different things, and I think I personally think that's very beneficial.
I'm not disagreeing.
Especially when it comes to the younger generation that utilizes social media to a fault.
Yep.
You don't have to come out on social media and say, "Hey, I'm Trooper so and so. Good to meet you. Let's have a coffee someday." You can, if you're visible, and I think that's speaking to your point about
the visibility,
of having them sit downtown or somewhere where people can see it, not as to scare people, but
make people be more comfortable with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm here. I'm part of your community.
Yeah.
So I think that's really, really important. And do you know if this trooper that you spoke to did he post for the resident trooper job, or
I believe he has.
Okay.
And I don't have that frequent an interface with the state troopers here, but I've had interface with the day guys. I really don't know the night guys very much at all. And I think overall that Jewett City has been pretty lucky. I think we've had pretty reasonable troopers here.
Yeah, and I'm not putting Valancourt or Ray
down. I know you're not,
because I've talked to him personally, and they actually, they do have personalities. They really, honestly do. And for example, Valancourt, first time I met Chris was over at a Grizzly Youth and Family Services event where they had Lifestar come down, and the kids were able to go ahead and check the helicopter out and all. So Chris was there. It was the first time, and Chris doesn't have any hair. He's shiny bald. And I'm not kidding you. I looked at him and I said, "Are you the lead singer from Smashing Pumpkins?" And he goes, "Is that a good thing?" I said, "Well, the guy's rich." He goes, "Well, I guess maybe I am." So they weren't your typical, just I'm going to be a cop kind of thing. No, they were both really, really cool. They did their jobs, obviously. So
I met Chris at borough meetings, but I also met him one night in the dock. I was driving down East Main Street, and he was sitting there opposite the UCFS. And next thing I know, I see the lights behind me, and I looked at my speedometer, and I was doing about 25 miles an hour. I says, "Well, I don't know what's going on." So he'd stopped me to tell me that I had a headlight out.
Oh,
okay. Which is not something you necessarily notice if you,
Yeah. No, you don't. Hey, you know what? We're going to call. Let's see if this is actual call here. Hold on. Good morning, SNSN.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, may I speak with Mike?
That's me. Who's this?
Yes, my name is Dawn, and I'm calling on behalf of National Disability.
Oh.
How are you today, Mike?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking. And by the way, we are here to help people to qualify for Social Security disability benefits.
Oh,
So let me walk you through, Mike, on how you would qualify, okay?
all right. How would I qualify?
Great. Thank you. Yes, for this one, Mike, I'm going to ask you just a yes or no questions
All
to
right.
determine if you may qualify. Now, if you do, I'll connect this call to our specialist to help complete your application. And just so you're aware, this call will be recorded for training quality purposes.
Oh, you have no
So
idea
first-
how it's being recorded because I'm recording it too.
I see. Oh, that's great. So first, I would like to verify if you're between the ages of 53 to 64 years old.
Between the ages of 53 and what?
53 to 64 years old.
That is correct. Yes.
Great. And are you currently entirely out of work because of your disabilities?
I have a disability? Who said I have a disability?
Well, I'm asking. That's why I'm asking you, sir. Are you currently entirely out of work because of your disabilities?
No, I don't. But what disability are you speaking? You're telling me because of my disability. What disability
She's
do I have?
asking you a question. Are you
Oh.
out of work because you are disabled?
No, I am not out of work because I am disabled. I'm sorry.
I'll interpret for you.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Well, do you have any health problems that have stopped you from working?
No. I mean, how personal can I get? I don't want to be rude, but I mean, you're asking me a question. Should I be truthful? Hello?
I'm sorry.
I said I don't. You're asking me a question, and you're asking me, about a health disability. I mean, do you really want me to answer that?
Well, actually, yes, because this is some set of questions from Social Security to see if you are qualified to get disability benefits.
All right. Well, I seem to offend a lot of people sometimes because I have large amounts of gas, and that's sometimes is a problem. And I told you I didn't want to. I didn't want to mention it, but you thought I should, so I appreciate you making me feel comfortable.
Okay. Then are you still working right now?
Yeah, right now, yes. At this very moment, too.
Yes. Is it full time?
Yes.
I see. Well, for now, sir, since you're still working full time, National Disability is unable to help you.
Whoa.
You're currently
I just told you I had a disability, and now you're telling me I don't qualify. I don't understand.
Well, actually, sir, the criteria to be qualified is that you must not still working full time, because this is some set of questions to see if you are qualified for disability benefits. But since you are still working full time, so National Disability is unable to help you for now. Okay?
Well,
Because you are not.
Well, what if I quit my job right now? I have my boss right here with me.
Actually,
What do I tell him to go to hell and I'm done and I'm gonna get disability? What should I do? Will you stay on the phone while that happens?
Well, actually, sir, the best thing you have to do, sir, is no. You do not quit your job.
Why?
It's
This
very
is a
important.
great deal.
It's very important.
Well, I mean, you called.
Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.
Why are you
and
leaving?
I know you're still.
Why are you leaving? How about my car's extended warranty? You need something about that? All right.
Oh God!
Oh, she couldn't tell me about my car's extended warranty either.
No,
So-
but the information could have been useful for some of your listeners.
It was a
And I
scam
thought-
call.
I thought that's where you were going originally.
No, it was a scam call.
Yeah.
There was somebody that or just there wasn't.
That's
Somebody
something I
was-
forgot to ask.
I should have just put her on the line with you.
No, not me. I get enough.
Oh, that was, come on. I could have gone so many different ways with that call.
Oh, I know you could have. Yeah.
Oh.
And you were doing pretty good.
And she was, then all of a sudden at the end, it was like, I gotta go. I gotta go.
Yeah, she had a bathroom call.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I told her I had lots of gas.
I
And
know.
that was the thing that kind of turned her off right there. So. Oh, those darn disability calls. Just when you think you got them, they tell you that they got to go.
Well, what I want to know is I've gotten in the last 2 months or 3 months, I've gotten probably 15 or 20 calls from some place that somehow or other they picked up some of my medical information. Okay.
Well,
and I want to know how they got my medical information.
Hayden says she was filling you out. She knew you were lying. Well, I don't know because first of all, she asked me by my first name.
Yeah.
So but the number she called doesn't have me associated with it. It's got the business associated with it. It doesn't have my name on it.
Well, she might have looked up and to see who was the proprietor or the registered owner of SNSN or whatever.
She had too much time on her hands. I have no idea, but those are fun. I love the scam calls because I'll play with them.
Yeah.
I will. I mean, it's funny because a lot of times I'll be literally in the bathroom and I'll get them go, oh, this will be fun.
I know the kids tell me I should take and just drag them on and on and
yeah.
on, but I just get so frustrated with all this junk calls. I'm on the do not call list, but that seems to be absolutely useless.
No, that is useless.
It's meaningless.
The do not call list is a scam list, to be honest with you. It doesn't help. Not at all. Because you know what they do is they can mask their phone number from where they're calling from.
Oh yeah.
And make it look like
Most of these
a local
calls are
number.
coming from 860.
Yeah.
And they're probably
Yeah.
coming from India or Pakistan or Saudi Arabia.
Exactly. And all they're doing is they're just masking. You can get the app. I can do it. I can call you and get the app. It's free. It's a free app. So the problem is sometimes people use it for
Nefarious purposes.
nefarious purposes. Ooh, that's a 25-cent word right there. Jim says nefarious.
Yeah. See, I don't
Use
have
it in a sentence.
I don't have any dollar words though, Mike.
Oh, that's close, man. That was really, really close. But the way I look at it too is that they're on the clock. They're making the call. Might as well keep them.
But they're probably being paid by the number of calls they make or the number of positive responses they get.
I don't know. That is just not one job that I could picture myself doing.
No, I
can't.
Yeah.
I would never. I couldn't even.
You
think
go
that.
home totally depressed every night.
I know. It would.
I mean, it probably wouldn't take you long to take a bucket of water and put it over your head.
I can't understand how many people actually would do, that job and actually get anywhere with it, because there's so much information out there about. I mean, everybody talks about these scam calls and the type of calls, yet people fall prey to it. One thing and this happens with a lot of older women, where there are men from different countries in Africa that have been known to prey on older women, in Europe and also in the United States, to make them feel that they're in love and that this person loves them and blah blah blah, but could you send me money
So I can come visit you.
kinda? Yeah, exactly.
Never heard of that one, but
Well, one thing that did happen is Kim over at Two Sisters Shipping and Business Center, she identified one of these things as she had a lady that was coming in and wiring large sums of money to a student in Africa, quote unquote student. And it actually took one of our resident state troopers, Trooper McCarthy, Jason at the time, to actually get this woman's money back because it was a scam.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of lonely men too, lonely people out there that are saying, that they'll be convinced to send whatever because they feel that somebody loves them.
Yeah,
So-
I had an incident a while ago. I had a person working for me doing a little bit of painting, and she was mentioning a call, and she got another one, and she left, and she said, "I'll be back." Went to withdraw some money, and I said to myself, "This is a scam." So I thought I knew where she was headed, and I went down there to try and find her to head her off, but I didn't find her. And unfortunately, she lost some money. Well, it was a lot of money to her. It wasn't a lot of money.
Yeah. I don't know. But all I know is that it makes people feel loved and wanted, when they don't feel that they have it here, and then they end up sending money, and then the big letdown happens after that. And they lose large sums of money.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I do it for the friend cost.
Yeah. Well, you always said you're a cheap date.
For $19.99, I will be your friend, and for nefarious purposes. No. God, oh God. So anyway, we haven't really we covered exactly. This happens. I put a subject up, in the posting, saying, all right, we're going to cover this, and I never end up covering it.
So you're lying to your audience.
Pretty much.
So what was the subject you were going to call?
I'm not cheap. I'm frugal. Somebody said.
Yeah.
So
I like that word too. I'm frugal.
Frugal.
Yeah.
The question was: is crime up, or is crime down?
Well, if you listen to some of the stuff you hear on the TV, the crime is way up. I mean, defund the police. That's just an invitation for crime to go out of sight.
I get the same press releases that everybody else gets in the state of Connecticut. From the large, the news sources, the same ones that go to there. I get them as well.
Yeah.
So
the most of the news is controlled by 5 independent organizations. I mean,
if that.
Really,
there are local agencies, there's town agencies, there are state agencies, and stuff. They all send out press releases and stuff. But bottom line is we get the same stuff as everybody else gets, and it's very disheartening when you continuously get news updates and there's another homicide in Hartford. It's like a daily occurrence now in Hartford, that there is a homicide. I remember a couple of years ago, there were, I think they hit like 22 homicides for the year in Hartford. They've well passed that this year.
Yeah, they're about double that.
They're almost at 50.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Almost every single day, there's some sort of carjacking or homicide or whatever out of Hartford. I don't even want to drive through Hartford, because I don't know. It's just crazy. So is crime up or is crime down? Is it because of the pandemic, or is it because police, aren't doing certain things because of the Police Accountability Act?
Yeah.
And honestly, if I was a police officer and that Police Accountability Act came my way, I'd be like, you're speeding? Have a good day. You went through that stop sign? Have a good day.
Well, my father's brother was a police officer in Charlestown, Mass, many, many years ago. And I look at the way things are today, and I wouldn't be a police. You couldn't pay me enough money to be a police officer today.
No, these men and women are up against a wall.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to fight the good fight. I really do. I really believe that police are fighting the fight. I don't think, just like any other job, there are dirtbags.
Yeah.
And there are dirtbag radio announcers, and there are good radio announcers. There are dirtbag police, and there are really good police.
Where do you put yourself in that category?
I don't judge myself.
You don't
Jim.
judge yourself?
No,
That's
I
a
don't.
real cop out answer.
No pun intended on the cop out, right? No, I don't know. I just like to think that we're straight down the middle here.
That's good.
We don't choose sides. I don't choose sides, at least not on the air. I mean, I think the only time I've ever really chose sides is my support of Heather Summers.
Yeah, I think we're all enamored with Heather.
Yeah, and she does a wonderful job, and I think that's the only candidate that we have ever said, all right, we're backing this candidate.
Yeah.
Here at SNSN, or back when it was Wolverine Radio.
Well, that was because 6 or 8 of us had you in the corner, and you said if you said anything bad about it, we were going to kick your, you know what?
No, she's.
Well, I mean, she was in here about the second or third time, and I said to her, I says, I'm promoting you to run for president in 2024. That's not going to happen.
No,
because she needs to run for governor first, and I was hoping that she would run for governor in 2022.
Bill Knight says Mike is just dirty, depending on what day he showers.
Well, I was just going to say, for the cost of water here in Jewett City, we can't hogwash.
Hogwash, he says.
Jesus.
Oh,
I look at
Why do you think it's so bad?
I look at my water bill back in Stoughton, Mass. Okay, and I compare it to down here. I mean, we don't even water like grass. Okay, in fact, we've fortunately we've had a lot of rain this year, so we didn't have to water the garden much. But water here is
they're about the Gloucester fishermen.
And not only that, I mean, if you pour water in the sewer system now, the sewer cost is pretty good.
Yeah. Well, that is a different story. But I don't really have a problem with the water cost. Now, when I was living in Canterbury and we had well water, when it got really, really dry last summer, water pressure was nil. Was really nil.
Well, see, I didn't want to connect to this. I didn't want to connect to the utility water here when we built the houses down on 201. But I was required to because the line was within so many feet. And they keep annoying me with wanting to change my water meter all the time. I don't know when the last time it was, but it seems like it was only 2 or 3 years ago, and it might have been longer ago than that.
Yeah.
I mean, how often do we have to change the water meters?
Yeah.
I'm not absolutely positive about whether this is correct, but it seems to me that they're entitled to make a certain profit on their expenses. Okay, so the more they drive their expenses up, Eversource or whoever, particularly Eversource, the more if it's a fixed percentage of profit, that's more dollars in their bottom line. I may be wrong on that, but okay, and maybe Daryl will correct me if I am.
He's out there.
Are you listening, Daryl?
He's in the shadows, watching, waiting. So do we agree? Yes, crime is up.
I think you and I agree.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. There's a story that we're running this morning on SNSN News, which you also find on the SNSN News Facebook group, where there was a young man just yesterday. There were reports of shots fired.
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. It came over yesterday morning when you were here.
Was that where I heard it? Yeah.
And we had talked about it. Real quick. I just said right before the end. I said, breaking news, and there were shots fired, and there was a news release that came over earlier this morning where a young man, an 18-year-old young man by the name of Joshua Griffin, he discharged a firearm. He told the police that he hadn't, but he later on admitted to that he did. But he had 3-4 guns, including an AR-15 rifle. And lots of he had oxycodones and Xanax pills, and he had marijuana, but it was over 5 ounces. So that's the problem there. You can have 4 ounces and you're good. But he was arrested. 18-year-old kid. He's the one that shot or discharged the weapon, and he's being held on a $150,000 bond. 18 years old.
You know, I'm not saying that's a reasonable or an unreasonable bond because I don't know what it is, but it just seems to me that some people, especially white collar criminals,
Yeah,
they get nothing, and you know, well, the tale I always tell is it's about the poor person that goes in the store and steals a loaf of bread, and they get the whole slammer thrown at them, and we get this white collar crime where they're stealing tens of millions of dollars. Nothing happens to them.
yeah, they go to a country club.
Yeah.
Donna says, I don't understand why the water meters have to be changed every few years either.
Me neither.
So what is the reason for that? You got to go?
I got an appointment. Yeah.
I have an appointment myself this morning, but not until after the show.
Yeah. No, mine's at 10.
Oh, well, anyway, it's time for us to say goodbye anyway. So, all right, guys, thank you very much for joining us here this morning. We really appreciate your time. And hopefully we will see you once again tomorrow morning with myself, Paul Lash, and Chris Goodenough from Platinum Gear Productions. Have a good day, everyone. And we'll see. Oh, hey, good morning, Thomas. Glad you scooted in there right at the last minute. Have a good day, everyone.
Hi, this is Alan Gear. You may know me as Mr. Jewett City. I want to tell you about my experience with our local eye doctor, Dr. Joel Zuckerbrun. I recently had cataract surgery, and I was told that I needed new glasses. I didn't know what to do because the problem was this was right in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. Where the heck was I going to get glasses? I checked places that make glasses. I looked online, and what I found was my solution was practically in my own backyard. So I called Dr. Z, as most people know him. His office is right on North Main Street, right here in the borough of Jewett City. I went to my appointment and had my glasses faster than I would have thought possible. Call Dr. Zuckerbrun at 376-2848. I trust Dr. Z with my eyesight, and you should too. Make an appointment today.
Life is full of choices. At Jewett City Savings Bank, we can make one choice easy, finding the right checking account. We offer a range of affordable accounts to fit your budget and needs, and each gives you the freedom to access your money the way you want, online, through our mobile app, or with your debit card. It's your money and your choice. To learn more about the account that's right for you, stop by one of our offices or visit us at jcsbank.com. Jewett City Savings Bank, member FDIC.
You buy better. Better with Burns. Much better. So much better with Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
Hurricane season is upon us. Did you know insurance companies can issue moratoriums that prevent you from securing coverage when there's an impending storm? Homeowners, business owners, property owners, act now. Don't let your coverage leave you out in the rain. The licensed professionals at the Burns Agency are here to help. Call, email, or chat with us online today. Don't let the next natural disaster become an insurance disaster. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better. Better Burns. Much better. So much better with Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
Hello, I'm Miranda Mahoney, Project Coordinator of Grizzle Pride, your drug-free community coalition. We want to help you keep your kids safe during this challenging time. Social distancing is still in effect, and so is the social